What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about the Xbox Scorpio. So the specs have been revealed and we're going to talk about them, but we're not going to talk about each individual spec because I don't, to be completely honest with you guys, a lot of that is completely out of my realm of expertise. So a lot of it I'm kind of like, I know bits and pieces here and there, but I want to talk about the Xbox One Scorpio, and I want to talk about going into its launch. What can we expect? What might happen? And let's just go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so E3, as the time of making this video, E3 is a good 2 months away, and the Xbox Scorpio just got its specs revealed on Digital Foundry. Now, a lot of people were always like, okay, Xbox, Microsoft, why are they revealing hardware on a YouTube channel such as Digital Foundry? Well, I can tell you why. Because they specialize in pretty much everything. They are the best of the best when it comes to technical and very intricate hardware. They are on, like, they're on their stuff. No one is better than them when it comes to pixel counts, when it comes to the frame rates on our console games, when it comes to pretty much all of that kind of hardware. They are the #1. No one else has that kind of in-house technology like them. The Xbox Scorpio, the way I look at it is the specs. Okay, it's a pretty beefy console. I can say that it is the most powerful console out. But I'm telling you right now that CPU is a bottleneck. The CPU does not do anything. It doesn't do it justice. It doesn't. Because see, the PS4 Pro, looking back at it now, it's almost like a half-ass upgrade. I mean, yeah, the GPU is good, but that CPU, the clock speed is 2.6 gigahertz or something similar to that. Oh my god, that is bad. That is something akin to, oh my goodness, that's akin to like 2009 specs, 2010, 11. Like, that's not what you consider to be top of the line. Like and the reason why I'm harping on the CPU so much is because a lot of games will rely on that to hit that 60 FPS, frame rate target. For example, Uncharted, okay, Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. The game runs at 1080p 60 FPS on multiplayer, and it runs at 1080p 30 FPS on single player. The single player actually could reach 1080p 60 frames per second. The only problem is the CPU. It can get that extra jump in resolution because a lot of the GPU offloads on that, and that's just resolution. It got a 1440p resolution update, but it could, in theory, if it had a stronger CPU, it could, in theory, hit 60 frames per second. Imagine that, okay? Imagine Uncharted 4, A Thief's End in 60 frames per second. Also, imagine Bloodborne in 60 frames per second. It would be glorious. But a lot of console developers, or just not console developers, but a lot of consoles, today, they're always focused on resolution. You see, when it comes to FPS games, the target is 60 frames per second. We're now in a day and age where if it's a first-person shooter, it has to be in 60 frames. If it's not, no one's gonna play it. It's gonna be laggy. It's gonna be a nightmare. You need that 60 frames per second. I wish developers had that same kind of mindset with single-player games. Like, all single-player games have to be in 60 frames per second. I wish they pushed that agenda. I really, really wish they did. I'm kind of getting off topic here, but one game that's a console game, it's only a console game, that does this well is Neo. You have two options when you play Neo. You have the action mode and the cinematic movie mode. The cinematic movie mode is 1080p 30 FPS. The action mode is 720p 60 FPS. Every single game moving forward needs a feature like that. There's no exception. Every game just needs that. And I mean, just looking at all these games and just looking at the performance, it could be so much better. But back to the Xbox One Scorpio. I kind of got off track with the PS4 Pro and all that. But pretty much, I believe that clock speed on the CPU is really holding it back. The GPU strong, and yes, it can hit native 4K, but I just feel like we need to get out of 4K, all right? We're not even at 1080p 60. Why are we in 4K? I'm at that point now where I'm just like, why? I mean, yeah, 4K may be beautiful, may be nice, it may be just completely, the pixels, everything may be there, it may be nice, but at the end of the day, we need to focus on performance. Performance is first. I mean, in any game, okay, in any game, performance comes first, because if you don't have that, you don't have a game. At least, for me personally, when I play a game, performance is key because I have to be able to play the game. If the game has terrible performance, I cannot play it. And I mean, that's pretty much the mindset for a lot of people. If a game doesn't work properly, you can't play it. And we're at a point now where games are struggling at 1080p. Take, for example, Fallout 4. Now, that is more of Bethesda's fault than the console itself, but at the same time, the console is still... We're behind in technology. When it comes to consoles, we are behind in tech. We should not... it's just a problem. It's an issue, and developers need to stop worrying so much about resolution. Get out of that. Why do we have a PS4 Pro? I feel like, honestly, the PS4, and I understand why they didn't do this, but I feel like the PS4 Pro should have been just a 1080p. That should have been like what they were aiming for, was 1080p 60 frames per second. And also with the Scorpio, yes, I do know that with the Scorpio, all your Xbox One games, all your Xbox 360 games can run on a Scorpio and it will run better, but at the same time, I feel like we should be only targeting 1080p 60. That's what the Scorpio should be going for. You know, hardware that can push gaming to the actual standard that it's at now, and 1080p 60 frames per second is the golden standard. That's what everyone strives for. That's what, when you build a PC, that's what you're going for. And I know you could say, oh, well, you can't compare a console to a PC. Yes, I can, and I'm going to tell you why. Because, and Sony has actually said this, okay? The reason why they made the PS4 Pro was to compete with PC gaming. They legitimately went on stage, Andrew House, and said that. He literally said, our biggest competitor is PC gaming. Okay, literally disregarded Xbox, and so our biggest competitor is PC gaming. Okay, because we've noticed that throughout throughout a life cycle, how was this phrased? It was in an article. It was phrased that throughout a life cycle, they've noticed that consoles usually get weaker throughout the life cycle, and gamers switch to PC, and that's just what happens. And I feel like if you want to compete with PC, that's what you do. You make a 1080p 60 frames per second console, and you are in there. You are good. And developers, oh god, that console needs to be stronger, man. It just needs to be stronger. That's how you compete. The Xbox Scorpio as well, 1080p 60 frames per second. It's a lot stronger. And I've heard people say, you know, yeah, it's a lot stronger. It could do this, it could do that. But I feel like 4K isn't enough. It's not. And back on track with the Scorpio, what games does Xbox have? Okay, let me just say this now. I'm not an Xbox hater. I love Xbox. I have a 360 under my bed right now. Why is it under my bed? Because I have no use for it. But, that being said, I feel like at the end of the day, they need games. Okay? It's a powerful console, but where are the games? Yes, they do have multiplats. You could just use your Xbox Scorpio as a multiplat machine and use your PS4 as a Sony machine where you play all your exclusives. But at the end of the day, they need the exclusives. Who's gonna play Gears of War and Halo for the rest of their life? Like, people are getting sick of that. Okay, stop that. Stop Gears of War. Stop Halo. Just get new IPs, get new ideas. Quantum Break didn't do nothing. Record didn't do nothing. You need to build something, okay? You need that something to go off of. And I mean, last generation, Xbox had those exclusives, all right? Xbox had the exclusives. I mean, I wouldn't say it had better exclusives than Sony, but it had exclusives nonetheless, okay? We're like, what, 14, 15, we're like, what, 4 or 5 years into the generation already? At that time, at the time of the Xbox 360, 5 years in, they had those games. They had them coming, and they were hot. But it's like now Microsoft doesn't really have anything, and they need, you know, the Scorpio just needs games, you know. They revealed the specs and they're nice, but we need more games. I mean, yeah, like I said, you can use it for multiplats, so that's all well and good, but I just feel at the end of the day, they just need games. And if they want to compete with PC gaming, they need to just strive for 60 frames per second. And like I said before when I was talking about the PS4 Pro, you know, they say that their biggest competitor is PC gaming, and it's obvious that that's Microsoft's biggest competitor, because look what they're doing now. They're putting they pretty much submitted to PC gaming. They're putting all of their games, their exclusives, on the PC. Okay, Xbox is literally submitted to PC at this point, and it's a matter of time until Microsoft does the same exact thing. It won't be long. I'm not sure when exactly, but I'm pretty sure at some point, Okay, at some point they're gonna Sony's gonna be like, all right, you know what, screw it, we're just gonna make our own store, kind of similar to Uplay and Origin, and you can just buy all of our exclusives here. Just imagine The Last of Us, okay, on PC with proper mouse and keyboard controls. Imagine the Uncharted series on PC with proper mouse and keyboard controls. Oh my god, it'd be lovely. But yeah, man, I know I'm talking about the PS4 so much. I need to stop that, okay? We're talking about the Xbox Scorpio. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it doesn't have the games. I want Xbox to succeed. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy they got a new console, all right? I'm happy that it's more powerful than the PS4 Pro. But I just feel like I just want them to win. I mean, I want them to win. I want them to do something that's going to benefit them and the gaming community as a whole. Because Microsoft is more user-friendly than Sony. That's a fact, okay? You can't even argue about that, all right? Sony, when it comes to just community response and talking to the community and going back and forth, Microsoft's on point, okay? You can't touch them. They are always there. I mean, like, take for example, I've seen on Xbox's YouTube channel, whenever they upload a trailer for something, for this or that, I can see they're always in the comments talking to fans. They're always on Twitter talking to fans. When fans wanted backwards compatibility, bam, they got it. They could change their gamer tag, bam, they got it. They got all that stuff. Microsoft is killing it. I mean, when it comes to so many different things, Microsoft is doing so much right. Sony, you know, PS4 players have been asking for backwards compatibility and to change their gamer tag for so long, and fam, they do not have it, okay? They don't have it. But look at Microsoft. I mean, they're oh man, they're doing their thing. But I need the Scorpio to get some games. I need it, man. I need it, because right now my PS4 is pretty much just an exclusive machine. I play all my exclusives on my PS4. And I feel like my PC is just my multi-plat console. I mean, not my multi-plat console, my multi-plat system. And I play all my multi-plats on PC. So, and now I can pretty much play all my all the Xbox games now. So they need to do something. And that's another thing I didn't even bring up. All of their games are on PC, so it's almost like, damn, what is the point of having an Xbox Scorpio? But they said this is a premium console. I want them to just, at E3, they gotta bring some games, man. They gotta show me some games. I can tell you right now, if if they were to make an exclusive Naruto game similar to Broken Bond and Rise of a Ninja, you probably don't know about these games because this is way before your time. But these were actually good Naruto games. These were the only good Naruto games in the last like 10 years or so. If they bring those back, I'm telling you, fam, I would buy an Xbox Scorpio so fast. If they bring the Naruto, I'm not even sure what the Naruto Broken Bond series, we'll call it that, because it didn't have like an actual series. The games were titled differently, but they were all canon to each other. If they bring that back, it's all over. I know they won't though, but I'm just saying if they did, that'd be awesome. But yeah, pretty much the Xbox Scorpio, they need to bring some games. You know, Microsoft needs to bring some games at E3. I want to see some mind-blowing stuff. Or just please bring some games. I want them to do something nice. I want them to succeed, but they just got to bring some games. And yeah, man, it's just games. It's just games. I'm going to stop repeating myself. I'm going to end this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think about Xbox, the Xbox Scorpio, the specs. You know, what do you think about their lack of exclusives and all of that? Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. So again, thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to, oh god, I always get tongue twisted on this part. Please be sure to share the video on your favorite social media platform. I don't know why I get tongue twisted when I say that. But anyways, please be sure to share this video on your favorite social media platform because it helps the channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, have a great day.